So as most of you are tracking, and as I've described in other videos, the factory Mazda RX-8 limited slip has its weaknesses. The Tochigi Fuji cone clutch type limited slip unit has fragile friction cones inside that as they start to break, which is very, very common, you will basically lose functionality of that limited slip differential. So I have seen with this car at the autocrosses that my car will lay rubber in the inside tire, which is one giveaway that the limited slip is functioning less than it should be. And also with the car up in the air here and in neutral, if I spin one tire, the driveline drag is enough that the other tire barely spins. And if you've got decent lockup in your differential, you spin one tire, the other tire should spin pretty strongly with it in the same direction. So basically no breakaway torque on this factory diff. So I've already got the carrier pulled out of the car. We're going to be tearing that down in just a minute. And in its place, we have a upgraded clutch pack kit from racingdiffs.com. And so this kit installs in place of the factory fragile cones. It comes with upgraded springs to enhance the lockup. And so we're going to get this in there. We're going to see how it works. In full disclosure, they sent this kit to me basically at no cost to be able to test it out and review it and let you guys know how it performs. Racing Diffs YouTube account actually has an excellent video showing them doing the installation of the friction plates inside the factory diff. So that's what I'm going to be using as my reference, and that's what I'd suggest for you guys as well. But what we will do is we will get the kit installed. We'll measure the initial breakaway torque with the car in the air just as a starting data point. I'll do some street miles, do a couple racing events, and then I'm going to check back in and see if that breakaway torque has changed and let you all know how this differential kit performs under racing conditions. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, guys, we were able to get the differential out of the carrier. The key to that after taking off the two bearing caps was to try to pop out one of the spacers on the side of the differential. So there's cones there that fit over the bearings, but then there's a spacer. And so if you pop out that spacer from the inside out, then all of a sudden the differential is quite easy to get out on its own. So let me reposition those the way they came off. But here we are, we've got the differential popped open, and I'm looking here at the first cone, and very surprisingly, I don't see any damage. So we need to tear this down a little bit more, but we'll take a look at the other cone on the other side and see what condition it's in. All right, guys, I took a break from the differential upgrade, essentially for lack of an appropriate punch pin tool. The differential pin that holds the spider gears in place that you can see here, there's a retaining roll pin that you have to punch out, let's see here, through that hole there. So I've got my nice pin punch there, and I got a hole there. It's an 1/8 inch pin punch, and you can see what's left of the retaining pin. So the rest of the differential is ready to tear down. But don't let something like the pin punch be a long lead time item for you. Go ahead and get yourself the 1/8 inch pin punch so that you'll be ready to finish the differential tear down when it comes time. So a quick look here at the cone clutches from the factory unit. You can see where there is an interesting wear pattern on these, suggesting that maybe some of the friction material has been worn away on them. To my surprise, neither of my cone clutches were cracked in the way that is quite common, but you can certainly see an interesting wear pattern on that one, and a very similar story on the one from the other side. So even if they're not cracked, I suspect that as you start to wear down some of the friction material and you get to that shiny, slippery metal section, you're basically losing friction from those cones, and then so the limited slip will offer less lockup So hopefully the clutch packs that we're putting in this diff will remedy that issue. The diff is in, the driveline is back in place, pretty much ready to get the car on the ground and take it for a test drive. But I wanted to measure the initial breakaway torque before we get these clutch plates broken in. So I'll walk around the car, and what I have done here is the car is not in gear. So the car is in neutral, the parking brake is off. I've got a block of wood there that is keeping that tire from rotating, so that tire is locked. And here, I'm on the axle nut of the rear axle. And so there I'm braking away. You can see that my hand is rotating, so I need to loosen the breaker bar. All right, that's pretty close to the breakaway torque, folks, and that is up over 50 foot-pounds of torque. 51, 52 foot-pounds of torque. So my factory diff with those worn out clutch plates, it almost broke away just by looking at the thing. You could rotate it. One wheel rotating, the driveline drag was enough to have the other one just freewheel. So almost no breakaway torque initial lockup on that factory differential. 50 foot-pounds on this diff. People weren't exaggerating when they said that this was a pretty aggressive kit and it changed the handling balance of their car, corner entry, corner exit. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that at minimum, this kit is more reliable than the factory cones, which are known to break. Hopefully I get a little bit more lockup, hopefully maybe a little more stability at corner entry where I do a lot of trail braking. Hopefully it doesn't turn into an understeery pig, but I'm gonna get the car the rest of the way down and we're gonna take it for a test drive. We're back from the first event, an autocross with Mercedes-Benz Club, and I can provide initial impressions on the clutch upgrade kit for the RX-8 differential. If the factory diff is like a weak, loose, one-way differential that only locks a little bit on acceleration, I would classify this upgraded clutch pack from Racing Diffs as a moderate one-way clutch upgrade. I say that because out on course, I was still able to get the car to rotate very easily under trail braking. I couldn't tell personally that it really made much of a difference under deceleration, under corner entry. So certainly doesn't act like a two-way diff now, probably not even like a 1.5 way. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. If you've got a pushy car, you wouldn't want to have a differential that's tighter and locks more on deceleration. That would just exacerbate the issue. So it did improve lockup on acceleration. If you guys checked out, or if you guys haven't checked out the video from the last event, go ahead and do so. You could see I was really able to lean on the car, exiting the corners, going full throttle while still pulling, almost full lateral Gs. So I felt like the corner exit traction was really good. Off the line, the differential felt awesome. At previous events, it felt like not all of the torque was going evenly to both wheels. At this event, I was able to tack it up 7,000 RPMs, drop the clutch, and the car just took off. So the off-the-line traction was fantastic. Corner exit traction was fantastic. As I was doing the alignment on this, I just had the car up in the air and I took an opportunity to check the breakaway torque and how that's changed since it was initially installed. And the measurement I got is about 47 foot-pounds. That's pretty close to the 50 or so foot-pounds I saw when it was factory fresh. So it looks like things are breaking in a little bit. I'll continue to track that over time, but 47 foot-pounds is a lot better than essentially no lockup, which is what I was seeing from that factory differential. So only time will tell for you guys how well this differential holds up long term. But my initial impressions are you get more lockup on acceleration, more traction at corner exit, but it's not going to hurt your corner entry balance, for better or worse. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll let you know how this differential continues to perform in the future.